Well, the smoke is back in the valley. Wind has shifted from last week's storm, and we're just layered in smoke again from California and all the western state fires. We don't have any too close here, so it's all kind of filtering in from the west. So I have a 1,500 foot climb right behind me up the canyon of Adams Canyon, 1,500 feet in just 2 miles. So I'm going to keep things easy for 2 reasons. I'm going to do a run hike combo, keeping things aerobic. I'm really going to watch my heart rate, keeping it below zone 6 or keeping it aerobic, and in doing so keeping it either a run or a hike based on my heart rate. And so keeping it just really steady. It's a hard climb. But one, I don't want to be sucking too much smoke with a hard effort. So I'm going to keep it as easy as I can. Secondly, I'm hoping that tomorrow I can get into the Tetons and do a harder, longer run. So I'm, again, want to save my lungs from the smoke. And 2, I want to save my legs for tomorrow's harder run. So I'm going to keep things really easy, really aerobic, more of an strength endurance day today. And while we do so, we're going to talk about my go-to mountain trail shoe for the year, the DYNAFIT Feline Up Pro. It's going to be the full review of this shoe. It's a great shoe, and we're going to hear all about why this has been my go-to shoe for short, fast, maybe runs up to about 3 hours in the mountains. This is a very specific mountain shoe with the word up in the title. It's obviously made for going up in alpine terrain and lots of very rugged, very challenging, very unstable technical terrain that the big mountains bring, and which I'll have a little bit today as well. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to dive into that, but first I got to get this climb over with. So let's go. I mentioned that I'm going to try to keep today as easy as I can, so tomorrow can be really good. A lot of threshold, a lot of climbing. And in the meat of the season, after base building, I really like with my athletes to go to a 2 or 3 day block where, again, they're ready for it. And a lot of times, if you go, especially a 2 day block where you're going good quality 2 days in a row before recovery, the body feels really good. And so with one of my athletes, what we're doing right now, she's training for the US Trail Marathon Championships in Moab in November. And we're doing 3 day blocks right now. And instead of doing one long run, I'm meshing in 3 days of quality, moderately long runs after a track session 2 to 3 days before. So the track session is not only training leg speed and specific aspects for what we need to do for her race, for the marathon, but then this faster, harder running is going to set her legs and her lungs up to feel really good 2 to 3 days later when she's doing her 3 day endurance block. So it looks kind of like Tuesday track, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, she's doing anywhere from 15 to 20 miles a day of good quality. So a lot of race specific long intervals. So she is really getting the volume. But at this point in the season, after all season of base building, the last thing she needs to do is go for another long, easy run. She is now ready to do quality long runs with race-specific intervals. Lots of downed trees from the storm. Look at this one up here. Another key thing as you're in the racing season is what I like to do a week before a big race is to have a quality run in the slot of your long run. So I want to give a shout out to Callan from Romania. He basically's gone from the couch to doing a 50K this weekend, and I got a hike, and he's doing so awesome. He's gonna do a really mountainous trail marathon. And last Saturday, the Saturday before his race, I had him do about a 90-minute run that ended with 20 minutes really hard. And he did awesome. Up to that point, he's been peaking, so he's rested, so this run didn't tire him out. And all it does is create neuromuscular memory to help race day feel a lot easier. Race day pace feels a lot easier. And I found that doing that a little intensity really helps going into race week. Almost there. I'm feeling really good. So I'm actually running a lot more than I thought, but heart rate just hit low zone 6, so I backed off to keep it aerobic. Almost there. You can see just surrounded by ridges all around the backyard. See the smoke. I'll have a better view at the top. All right, here's the first summit. 1,300 feet in under 2 miles. I have a little bit of descent and then a traverse across and one more climb to the ridge that we're gonna circle back to home on. So it's gonna be good. Catching my wind here for a minute. So you guys all know how I feel about foot strength, our foot health, and run form, and how that all integrates, and how I believe there's a third component of our shoes, and how getting the appropriate shoes can help with our foot strength, with our health as running, our strength with running, and our run form. And all those also help us to be able to get the strength to get into the proper shoe. So that's always my challenge, is to find a really natural running shoe that still gives me the right amount of rock protection, the right amount of feel of the ground, a right amount of natural feel, low drop, and with some cushion to allow me to spend a few hours in the mountains at a fast rate of speed with agility. And that's always my challenge. I can usually find some of that, but not all of it, to really help my enjoy the mountain running that I have here in Jackson. So, but with this DYNAFIT, it's my go-to shoe this year for runs, everyday runs, and short to moderately length runs, and very fast runs. So they give you the agility you need. So we're gonna descend, hit the ridge, find a good spot, and really dive into the DYNAFIT Feline Up Pro. Here we go. As many of you consistent watchers of the channel know, I'm into mountain lions, and that's mountain lion scat. And this is really, really high concentration area of mountain lion because there's lots of deer here. So early season especially, I'll see lots of tracks, mountain lion tracks. So well, it's just always kind of spooky to be back here sometimes. So we'll carry on though. All right, found a good spot out of the wind, actually right on the ridge as where I'm descending down the ridge. All right, so let's dive into the DYNAFIT Feline Up Pro. First off, the specs. This is a 4mm drop, heel to toe differential. And that's, I don't like to go much more than that for a fast, nimble, very mountainous shoe. So I'm having good grip, good ground feel. So this is the perfect drop, again, heel to toe, for this purpose. The stack height is 18.5 millimeters, heel 22.5. And I think this is where this shoe shines, is that a lot of shoes in this category where they're kind of considered maybe a middle distance shoe meant for racing, made for going fast. Got sweat in my eye. Ooh, that stings. Might have to shut the camera off. All right, that stung. It's hot. The smoke's keeping the heat in. So for being the middle of September, it's in the 80s, so it's really warm. But anyways, getting back to the racing feel of this shoe, where I meant that this shoe really shines, it has a 18.5 stack height in the toe. I don't like to go more than that, but most shoes in this category are roughly around 15 or 16 millimeters. So having that extra 2.5 from a comfort and plush ride standpoint, it's just perfect. And like I mentioned earlier, where I have a hard time finding a great shoe for this purpose is having enough protection and comfort for going long, moderately long, fast, agile in the mountains, where there's scree, there's sharp rock, there's technical, there's ridges. Everything that the mountains throw at you, it's hard to find a shoe that's comfortable, that's not too harsh, that has a little bit of comfort, but gives you a really, really great feel of the ground and great rock protection, okay? And so you can see how flexible this is. No rock plate. The outsole is made by Vibram, and it's their Mega Grip. So again, you're getting a really, really, really grippy shoe for the rock. Sometimes too grippy. I've noticed that sometimes I'll catch an edge on a rock and almost kind of trip up just a little bit because it is so grippy. But with the light base compound from Vibram in the outsole, now you have a very thin layer of outsole that allows this shoe to be extremely, extremely light, but very, very durable. And again, this is another place where this shoe shines. DYNAFIT has this listed on their site as 230 grams per shoe, and that's usually a size 9 across the board. And what shoe companies usually use, they use that weight. So I'm not sure if that's, they don't mention that that's a size 9, but at 230 grams, what I can tell you, this is on the very, very light end of trail shoes, mountain shoes, super, super light, but super, super durable. Again, you're getting the grip of the outsole, but you can see I've used this all summer long, and there's not a lot of wear and tear. I've used it on tarmac. It runs great on tarmac. Today, I had a tarmac approach, okay? And normally, after a handful of runs, you're gonna start seeing wear outsole in the lugs because it's so grippy that it just wears really, really quickly. And this shoe does not. And again, spending $170 for a shoe you don't want it to wear out, and this has lasted me all summer long. So this shoe is really an amazing standpoint from that. It really has durable features that, again, most shoes in this category are gonna wear almost twice as fast from my experience. Okay, so the Vgram outsole, super grippy. You can see it just is super clean, and everything you want for every type of terrain. Granted, I don't get a lot of mud here in Jackson, so I can't really say that it's super great in mud, just because we're usually dry or snow. But I can tell you this is top-notch traction for every type of terrain that I encounter. And even though it's made for going up and a mountain shoe, I found that this is great on normal plush single track because it's so flexible. Again, you're getting that ground feel, and your foot's just gripping to the ground. It also has a precision fit, or what I call a precision fit. You can see it's kind of curved in at the toe box, and this is meant for a very precision fit. It's not a super wide toe box, but you can see where it's wide here, where I have quite a few of my athletes in this shoe with a variety of different shoe widths, and they all feel that this shoe fits amazingly well. And that's, again, another double thumbs up where this shoe shines, is the fit. Okay, this just hugs your foot like a mountain slipper, no hot spots. Your foot doesn't move around, again, because you want the agility on the terrain, on the rock, on the scree, and it just locks your foot in, and you have the confidence that you need to do and run most any type of terrain. Again, I've gone up to over 3 hours in this, and it was fine. I would maybe take this up to 5 hours, but it might not be kind of an all-day shoe, depending on your strength of your feet and your run form. But again, this the fit is amazing. You're not going to be able to see it, but it's a thin tongue. The tongue is sewn into the side, again, which gives you that lockdown feeling. You've got the quick lace. My only beef with the quick lace, even though it fits really nice and snug, I think the actual radius, or the thickness of the string is too wide, and sometimes it does come a little loose, and I just have to tighten it up, give it a little snug pull. But that's really my only downside to the fit. Has what they call a heel preloader, and I'm not huge on big manufactured heel counters. A heel counter is what kind of locks your heel into place. But even though this looks very manufactured, I don't notice it, and I like that lockdown feeling that gives me extreme confidence in very technical terrain. Having said that, it's not a hindrance when you're on flat, buffed out, single track dirt terrain. Again, it's a mountain slipper. You feel like you just have the protection you need. Your foot's working naturally, and it's just one of the best fitting shoes I've ever had for the mountains. And so the upper, getting a little wear, but again, I've run in this all summer long over scree. You know, I've got rocks digging into the sidewalls, and it's just holding up really nice. It's a good toe bumper. So again, just very well constructed. The upper, you've got the little scree, little rock protection here to help with kind of rock and debris getting in, which is super helpful, especially early season with snow even. But again, just the upper is really well built. The whole shoe is really well built. Midsole, like I mentioned, is just enough cushion to really make this a plush ride to allow me to go 3, 4, 5 hours with no big deal. Okay, and again, that's what's, I think, unique about this shoe, is that a lot of shoes in this category, the midsole is just a little harsher, and so it's a harsher ride. I find this to be very plush, but still giving you the natural feel and not being too cushiony for having the stability, the agility that you want in the mountains. So it's my go-to mountain shoe this year, and I love it so much. They have a winter shoe called the Sky Up, or this, no, I'm sorry, the Sky Pro. that has a zippered upper high top that I'll be getting for winter, and I'm anxious to try that out. The exact same shoe, just with the zippered upper that kind of comes up ankle, just above the ankle. So try this out. I'm gonna leave you with the only downside of this shoe is that DYNAFIT, you're probably not gonna be able to find this in the store. Okay, you're gonna have to order it from DYNAFIT, and the size, you're gonna have to size up a full size. This runs very small. I'm normally a size 11 or a 45 European. This is a size 12 and a 46 European. Okay, so size up a full size. All my athletes had to do that across the board. So I'm pretty confident in telling you just to size up a full size, and it should really give you the size you need. So, all right, there you have it, the DYNAFIT Feline Up Pro. Send me your comments, questions about it, and check it out.